What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the best quarterback drills you can do that do not require any equipment and do not require a partner. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you're a quarterback and you would like to get better at reading defenses, you want to know how to diagnose coverages, the best plays to work against certain coverages, and the weaknesses of each coverage, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to 500 plus videos that we already have preloaded onto our website for reading defenses. So if this is the best possible thing, it's like the Netflix for quarterbacks. We have 500 videos, 5 new videos will be uploaded every single week, so that's going to keep uploading. It's going to eventually be 1,000 videos all on how to read defenses. So if you guys want some more information on that, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so the first drill that we're going to be talking about today is called the quarterback hip walk, okay? Some people call this a QB walk. A lot of you commonly know this as called the Dak dance or the Dak Prescott walk or however you want to think of it. Now, a lot of people make fun of this, a lot of people talk about it, but they don't actually understand the real benefit of doing this specific walk for your throwing mechanics. So that's why it is one of the best drills that you guys can do, and you need maybe like a yard of space to do this. You can do this in your room every single night and get benefit from it for your throwing mechanics. So let's talk about throwing mechanics for a second. When you guys go to throw, I think every single quarterback on earth knows that you want to generate power from your core and from your hips. You need to be rotating with your lower half, driving from your legs to generate power. However, to generate power, it's not so much about the rotation of your hips and your core, it's about the timing of the rotation from your hips and your core. So your hips want to be able to rotate through before your upper body does. They call that hip and shoulder dissociation, right? Like think about like a baseball, like a batter. A batter in baseball generates power the exact same way a quarterback does. It comes from something called torque, and that's that hip and shoulder dissociation, right? So you have the bat, you're in a batter's stance, you take a step with the front foot. Does all your weight come through and the bat come through at the same time? No, but you're still rotating at your hips. You know that the bat needs to stay back and the hips come through bringing the bat through. That is exactly how we throw a football, fellas. You hold the football here, you go back with the football when the front foot gets down and the hips come through before the arm does. That is called your throwing sequence. It happens in 3 specific parts. You need the front stride to get down, you need the hips to go through, and then the shoulders and the ball. So that's what the Dak Prescott thing works on. That's what that QB walk works on. It works on the sequence and us getting on sequence without putting stress on my arm. Because again, how do quarterbacks get better? They go out and throw, right? But doing these types of drills, going out and throw, you physically will get to a certain point where you can't get as many throws on your arm because your arm's going to fall off. You can't throw 1,000 reps, but I could do 1,000 reps of the hip walk and work on my throwing sequence. So the rhythm of this hip walk, when you guys do this, because obviously like we said, what needs to come through? It needs to be front stride, then hips, and the shoulders stay back. So when you guys are doing this drill, you need to keep a good amount of weight loaded on your back leg. A lot of people do this drill and they're doing this. They have all their weight forward. That's not how you do this drill. You need to keep your weight back. You need to step and transfer separately. There needs to be a separation between upper and lower half. So the rhythm I have my quarterbacks do on this drill is I have them start out, back foot's under their frame, weight's back, and the steps go left, right, left. So it's left, right, left, but they step and maintain that weight on their back leg, and it's just a slight hip rotation through to work on the first part of that throwing sequence. So this is one of the best drills that you can do. Make sure that you stay in that left, right, left rhythm. If you're a righty, it would be right, left, right. So I'm going to show you this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill that we're going to be talking about is I call it the towel hitch drill. So now, why do you see so many quarterback coaches and so many quarterbacks working with the towel? So the towel is for 2 specific things. Repetition, because like we talked about in the last example, quarterbacks physically have a certain amount of throws that their shoulder, their rotator cuff can take. Even with good form, your arm can still get tired, can still hurt just from being overused, right? So if you're that kid that needs a lot, because like let's say, think about this. It takes 1,000 reps to break a bad habit. It takes 10,000 reps to master a habit, right? So like if you're talking about your throwing motion, and let's say you have bad throwing mechanics, right? Like let's say you maybe have this long dip of the ball or a long stride, and you're just going out there with a football, it is going to take you way longer doing that with trial and error with the football because you need perfect reps to fix a bad habit. You need 1,000 in a row of a perfect habit to break a bad habit, right? So working on a towel, doing that hip walk stuff is a great way to build those things without putting added stress on your arm because because we have to keep our arm healthy. So that's why you go on the towel, number one. Number two, it's for something called extension. So extension is like the whip of the towel. When you guys go and throw, you never want to like short arm it, right? You never want to be like this guy that short arms, because that's not going to make the ball spin. Number one, you won't be as consistent. You want to extend. So with the towel, when we extend, there's a whip to it, and that's why guys will work on the towel. A lot of quarterback coaches don't even know why the hell they do the towel. They saw it on Instagram, so they have their guys work with the towel. That's why you do it with the towel. So now, second thing I want to talk about is the hitch drill that we're doing. So at the top of a drop, again, this is for footwork and this is also obviously for mechanics. Top of the drop, let's say I'm throwing like a deep post, right? And I'm taking a 3-step drop and I go to hitch up to throw. A lot of quarterbacks do not get enough weight to their back leg on the hitch, which will prevent arm strength, and it also will get them off their throwing sequence like we talked about in the last clip. So they'll hit the top of the 3-step drop, they'll hitch up and leave all their weight so their shoulders don't close, their weight's forward, so guess what? The shoulders come through before the hips do in the throwing sequence, and they push the ball. It's because they do not get enough weight to their back leg on their hitch. They don't sit there, which doesn't get them to that correct mechanical sequence where those hips go through before the shoulders. So this drill helps you with that. So what you're doing, you're going to be lined up, you go next to a cone, you go on a white line, you're going to have weight on your front foot, and all you were doing is rocking your weight back and forth 3 times. So you're going to be here, all it is, rock back, you want to replace your left foot with your right foot. Then you're going to go back again. Do it one more time, go back again. Then on the third one, you rock back, we shoot through, and we rotate through and throw with correct mechanics and correct extension with the towel. So I'm going to show you how this thing is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so the next drill that I want to talk about is going to help quarterbacks throw on the run. So when you guys are throwing on the run, it's all about being able to get to that correct throwing sequence like we talked about, but it's a little bit different, right? So like when you're in the pocket and you're throwing, you step with what foot? Like let's say you're a right-handed quarterback. You were stepping with your left foot while your weight stays back so we could transfer through, get my hips to go before my shoulders, and be more efficient. So now on the run, that changes a little bit, right? So on the run, you obviously are not planting off of your left foot. You would be planting off of your right foot because that is what's going to get your hips to the target. And when those hips get to the target, you want to rotate back, separate with those shoulders, and kick through and rotate through. So like, let's say for example, I'm throwing at the camera right here. I don't want to be stepping over to the sideline trying to throw here. I want to point my toe where I want the ball to go because that will get my hips and my belly button to the target. And when I can combine that with good shoulder rotation, there's a lot of torque there when my left foot kicks through. So that's like pretty much a basic rundown of how to throw on the run. So this drill works on that specific sequence. You were standing on one foot, you were going to balance on just your right foot, and you're going to have your left foot tucked if you're a righty. If you're a lefty, it would be the opposite, obviously. So right foot, shoulders are here. All you're going to do without moving this left foot, keep the left foot tucked. You're going to rotate back, separate your hands, and as you come through with the towel, you're going to kick through with your leg. Now, can you do this with a ball? Absolutely. We're just doing it with a towel because this is a drill for no partners. All these drills you don't need a partner for, but it's working on the throwing on the run sequence. So you step here, right foot single, rotate back, kick through. Rotate back, kick through. I'm going to show you how this thing is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so the next thing that I want to talk about that's going to help your throwing mechanics and help you just be a better overall quarterback that you could do without a partner, something that I used to do all the time, is throw routes with a towel. So I'm sure all of you play quarterback in an offense, right? Pretty standard. And I'm sure you guys all have a playbook. You have plays that you like to run. You have routes that you like to throw. If you do not have a playbook, I'm sure you guys have worked on routes before. You go through those routes with a towel, working the footwork, working the different pocket movements. That's a great part about quarterback, right? Like there's not a whole lot of cone drills that you can do, shuffle bags, coming through drills that you can do. Like, let's throw routes. Like, and if you don't have a partner to throw with, you can always get work in with a towel. So like, let's say for example, I want to throw the route tree. If I don't have a partner, I go in my backyard, I go in my room, and this is something that I used to do every single week. Like, let's say I was playing a game on Friday night. As a high school, this is what I used to do in high school. Game would be on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I'd already thrown at practice to get extra work in. I would go in my backyard and I would go through our entire playbook, doing the different progressions, different reads. Okay, what would I do against this coverage on this type of play? And I would go through those things over and over again. So in a game, it's a habit. Because fellas, quarterback is probably the hardest position in in all of sports, and you cannot worry about your throwing mechanics, your feet, your drop, your base when you're in a live game situation. When you're in a live game situation, you are worried about making the right reads and doing your job and delivering an accurate ball. So doing this type of stuff over and over and over again is how we get better. So like, let's say I want to throw the route tree, right? Start with slants. I just go here, one step, throw. Let's say we move on to a bang 8 post. 1, 2, 3, throw. We work on like a deep fade, take a 3-step drop, hitch up, and throw. I work through the different footwork movements, and again, on the towel, it does not put stress on my arm, and I'm only increasing that muscle memory. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you're a quarterback and you would like to get better at reading defenses, want to improve your football IQ, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to 500 plus videos all on how to read defenses. So again, very first link in that description below. I'll see you guys next time.